Hello, duelists, friends of the channel, and also this Cleffa. When I loaded today's episode, this Cleffa appeared, and then I paused the friends slideshow. And so this Cleffa is going to stay the entire episode. Look how precious she is. She's so round, and her ears are so cute. And so she's going to be the entire time. This entire episode is going to be her. But you guys can see, I have brought to you today, Thursday, a new deck. I have brought a new version of Last Turn, and I think that this one is very fun, very kooky, and I think it's definitely more of a petty deck than the other decks are. I think that we're getting closer to the sort of vision that I had for a Last Turn deck, but wasn't able to really get there. I don't think that this is going to be close to a finalist. I do think that this is kind of just like an experimentation, and you're going to be able to see that when we talk about the card choices, but it's pretty spicy. You guys can look, it's pretty spicy. You'll immediately tell we have a friend returning to the channel, Gillosaurus. It's Gilla time. He's back, and he's brought a friend. There's two of them. Look how, it's funny, because look how chonky the Gillosauri are on our stream, versus this guy's very skinny. He's a very skinny dinosaur. But anyways, so I'm trying to combine a Monarch deck with Last Turn, because I think the answer is going to be the three cards. Jaugen, Cyberstein, which goes into Last Warrior from Another Planet, and Dark Ruler Hot Devs, which I think will just be able to get over everything and also negate stuff like Sangan, DD Warrior Lady. I was thinking about a deck building convention that could take advantage of all three of them. And I thought that if I'm gonna bring in Hades, I want to bring maximum copies. I want to bring all three. And so I was thinking, okay, what style of deck can support that? And I went back to our Cold Wave Monarch Season 1. I looked at that deck and I thought about it. And I decided to take some of the ideas there and kind of mesh this weird brain control idea with Monster Gate. I think it's interesting. So let's go ahead and talk about all the cards. So we have BLS. We're playing 4 lights and a lot of darks, and so I thought that that would be enough to support him. I was also considering Dark Magician of Chaos instead, but it feels like that I would rather just have BLS to like slam down. I was originally also playing Pre-Mat, but I cut that card, and so I think we're gonna run with BLS. I have both the jars. I think Cyber Jar is actually the better jar, but there are definitely times that we're going to want to kind of speed through the deck to try to get to the last turn combo. And I think that this deck really benefits from just having a ton of cards of all sorts. And so I think that that's a good idea. You can see that we're not playing Jars of Greed anymore, and I think that including these 2 jars instead is sufficient. This deck is an aggro deck. The kind of last turn style that I want to play throughout this season is not stall. I want to play aggro. And so this is an aggro deck, and so I think that these cards support the kind of aggro thesis. We have 2 Cyberstein, not just 1. I want 2 because I want to see it more often. You can see that I'm also playing 2 Jaugen, and I think 2 of those cards each is the ratio that I'm comfortable with. We also have Sangan, which can search out either of them, which is great. We have Mystic Tomato, 1 Mystic Tomato, which will typically search Sangan, but if the time is right, we can also search Cyberstein, which is interesting. 3 Hades, 2 Shining Angels specifically, so they can either search each other or another Jaugen. And we have 2 Gillosauri. The Gillosauri are here to enable our Dark Rulers. They're also here to enable our spell cards, specifically Creature Swap. So our spells are nuts. We're playing all 3 copies of Brain Control, Snatch Steal, Creature Swap, and all copies of Soul Exchange. And so to interact with the opponent's monsters, we have 9 spell cards in the deck. It's a lot. And so like the opponent will basically never be able to summon a monster or set a monster without our dealing with it in some way. We're not playing Knock because I want to have this option open where we are going to be interacting with those monsters. And so the pipeline is either we steal the monster and we use it to like attack in like more of an aggro style. We can steal the monster and sack it for Dark Ruler Hades, which is good. Or we can steal the monster and sack it for Monster Gate. Monster Gate, I think, is interesting. You can look at these cards and you can say, okay, there are some cards. There are some cards that are not as good as others, and we're gonna give them a frown face. All right, so we're activating Monster Gate, right? Morphing Jar, frown face. Cyber Jar, frown face. Cyberstein, both quite good. I would say Sangan is fine. Tomato's fine. We want Hades. That's like the premier one. Shining Angel's good. Jowgen's good. Gillosaurus, frown face. Other Gillosaurus, frown face. And so there are 4 frown faces on the board. But we have a lot more not frowns, right? We have 4, 7, 10, 11. 11 smiles, 4 frowns. Yeah. So that's what we're doing with Monster Gate. I think it's interesting. I have never played a deck with Soul Exchange before because all the decks that I want to play, I feel like it's a little bit too slow. But I think that this deck solves that problem a little bit. Of course, we want to use our battle phase if we have the opportunity to, but it's not strictly necessary because we can just go into a combo that will enable us to win with last turn. And so I do think that Soul Exchange is going to be good as a substitute for Nock specifically. We're playing Graceful Charity and Pot of Greed. No duo because we don't really care about the opponent's cards. They're having few of them would probably benefit us, but I don't think that we need the slot for duo. I could be convinced otherwise. If you guys feel strongly for duo, you can let me know. Playing Heavy Storm. We're playing a True Nade instead of MST because I think that we really kind of want to clear the back row completely rather than take out a specific threat. In the sideboard, we have some Spell Trap hate, and so I think that if we come across stuff like Burn, or like Warriors, that Blade Knight set 4 kind of vibe, we can side to kind of handle that a little bit better. This is a sort of flex spot that it originally had pre-mat in, and then I kind of decided that I didn't want to run with that card, and so I'm running with Swords of Revealing Light. It's kind of like a 4th wall in terms of it like stops aggression, and I do think that there are times with this deck that we're just going to want to stop aggression. But I'm not sold. The Trinade is great synergy with it, and so I kind of when I play Trinade, I kind of want to play a copy of Swords in most decks, and so that's kind of where I'm thinking. We're playing Walls to enable our last turn. It's also a good Floodgate. It's not always going to be the case that we'll spend like down to 1,000 life points. Sometimes we'll just use it to protect our life points if we feel like we're in trouble and we want to maintain a kind of a protection. Because like, this wall is actually one of the best floodgates in the game. The original purpose is that you're supposed to use it just as like a floodgate, right? You spend 3,000 life points and your opponent can't attack until they have the card. And so I think it's quite good. We got last turn. We have Mirror Force and Ring of Destruction. Torrential's in the side. Again, because we want to make use of the opponent's monsters, and so we don't necessarily want to TT anything most of the time. I will say that there are a couple of other cards that I've been thinking about. I'm thinking about Ultimate Offering. Ultimate Offering is similar to Wall in that you can use it. Let me switch over to Goat. You can use it. You can activate it, and then after it's activated, you can chain it to itself as many times as you want in Goat format to keep spending 500 life points. Even if you don't have enough monsters in hand, when it resolves, I think you need to be able to summon a monster on the last chain link, but then all the other chain links before that can fizzle, and you still pay cost. It's not as reliable as Wall because Wall you pay as cost in one go, and so this card's very weak to something like Heavy Storm. However, you could flip it immediately on the opponent's turn before they can use Heavy, like in their standby phase. And then if they use heavy, I guess that doesn't really work because you can only use it in their battle phase. Yeah, I don't know. It's not as reliable, but I think it's interesting to me because you kind of want to wait for nearly the end of their turn anyway. And so this could be a way that we can get Jowgen on field in a surprise at the end of their battle phase. Like, let's say that we played no monsters and they just kept attacking in. They left us with like 2,000 life points. Before their battle phase ends, we can flip Ultimate Offering, spend 1,500, summon Jowgen, and then by the end of their turn, we can activate last turn. I think it's really interesting. We're not running with it yet, but I think I will try it in the future. So, onto the side, we have 3 Monarchs, 2 Mobius, and 1 Zaborg. There are going to be times where Dark Ruler Hades is not going to be sufficient in the deck. Like, I'm thinking about Reasoning Gate, which I think we still have a really good matchup against Reasoning Gate with our 2 main deck, Jowgen, the Spiritualist, and then also Cyberstein that can go into Last Warrior. But there are going to be times when Dark Ruler Hades is not going to be big enough to get over their biggest monster. And so I included these 3 Monarchs to replace Hades in those instances. However, Hades is really good with Monster Gate. These Monarchs are not. They're just vanillas. But sometimes a 2400 vanilla is all you need. MST is on the side because MST is great. Mystic Walk is in the side. I think it's fantastic because we're going to be stealing all these opponents' monsters. We can Mystic Walk Soul Exchange, which is great. I'm considering moving this up to 2 because I don't know what our burn matchup is going to be like. On one hand, it will kind of enable our last turn, but on the other hand, they can chain burn to the activation of last turn and kill us, and so it's a little iffy. We have this 2 meta 3 Scapegoat package. You could definitely argue that all 5 of these cards should be instead in the main. I especially think Scapegoat's good because it has great synergy with Creature Swap. Meta has great synergy with Soul Exchange, though you can't use Soul Exchange on a face-down monster with Meta. But, you know, there are instances where I think that these cards are really, really powerful. And so they definitely need to be in the side at least, if not in the main. I haven't thought about a sideboard mapping plan, and so we're definitely going to have to kind of think on the fly about what cards come in versus what cards come out. I'm thinking that there will be matchups where the last turn package entirely is just not going to work. And so we could side out these 5 cards, side out BLS, side out Jowgens, and then run this as more of like an aggressive style soul control monarch list. Bring in these 3 on top of Hades and just have like a ton of monarchs, ton of this. I think that could be interesting. 3 Solemn in the side. You could also argue that these should probably be in the main. You can see that I'm having a hard time fitting in cards because we do have all of like 1,000,005 of these monster swap spells, and so I don't know. Solemn's great, obviously, because we want to be able to protect our last turn, and we don't care about our life points. TT, and then our Grave Robber. Grave Robber can maybe come in over Swords. I don't know. I tested this deck in like 2 matches, and it felt a little slow. Like this deck tries to win within maybe 6 turns total, maybe 8. And so there's not a whole lot of time for the opponent to get good spells in the grave if they only have 4 turns to play. And so I think that Grave Robber might be a little bit too slow, but we're going to keep it in because it is the deck master. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to hop on ladder, so we're going to go hop on ladder. Hopefully we get no high-ranked opponents. We've only had 1 this season so far, which is kind of surprising. But our ELO is now 363, and so we're kind of getting to the point where we might be able to get matched up by a high-ranked duelist if there are fewer people in the pool. I know that Dueling Book was having some issues today, but we found an opponent. All right, the Boar. All right, ask and you shall receive. The Boar is a high-ranked duelist. They are bronze rank, which means that they are in the top 100. They also beat us in rock, paper, scissors. They are number 73 on the ladder. All right, so we got last turn. We are creature swap with Gillosaurus, which is funny. Looks like they are playing Thunder Dragon Turbo, which is unsurprising of somebody who's made it to the top of the ladder. They usually play meta, and so, which is interesting, you know? Okay. Heavy Stormular. Okay, so I am tempted. I am tempted to summon Gillosaurus and then attack him with Dark Ruler Hades. I'm tempted to I could heavy and then that would definitely go through. But then what would we have in hand? We'd have Creature Swap, Giant Trinade in last turn, which is kind of poor. This is probably a Deco. And so if we did that, I would have to Heavy Storm. It's pretty aggressive. However, they would only have 4 cards of their own. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to Heavy. Royal Decree. Oh. Alright, so if we summon Gillosaurus, they will have this Thunder Dragon back. I could just summon a Creature Swap. I'm going to summon it. Let's see if they summon him on. I'm trying to play aggressive with this deck. Do you like to summon TD? Someone did an attack mode, which is interesting. All right. I could Creature Swap, but I think we're going to save that. I'm going to go for Hades. To be completely honest, I kind of forgot about TD in the grave. What? Oh, I'm actually like I'm I'm so upset. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks big time. Because we could have just gotten over that with Gillosaurus. I guess this is, yeah, Snatch Steal's fine. That was like way too aggressive, I guess. We can let him lower our life points though, because we do have this last turn in hand. So we can kind of afford to take a few hits. Cyberjar's pretty funny. Alright, so let's think. What happens? I said Cyberjar, let's say that he knocks it. Will he kill us? He'll kill us. I could Cyberjar Creature Swap. I could Cyberjar Creature Swap. That's interesting to me. Because he'll probably give us TD. I don't know when... I guess he would have to choose kind of first. You know what? Let's go for it. I'm being a little bit loose right now. This is pretty funny. And so if he gives me TD... Oh, he gave me TD. Hilarious. Cyberjar time. Gillosaurus. He's here. That's very funny. Oh, Thunder Dragon also goes red. Why is he writing down my thing before he even vanishes? That's a little rude. That's not time efficient. The boar, 95. That's not time efficient at all. Oh, he has got his own creature swaps. Okay. Swap, Prima, Deco. Okay, well, this can't be special summon, so it's just Deco. Alright, well, we will be attacking this Deco. We will be. He's got 1 billion cards. We already summoned Cyberjar for the turn, so I do think that we're gonna definitely activate Swords. And what's our least valuable card? to set as an additional bluff. Maybe I don't want to do that, though. Maybe I just want to pass. We're just going to pass. Alright, he has a million cards. This swap's kind of dead. Prima is also kind of dead. Deco got summoned, and he does have a Sook. What's nice is that this Dark Ruler is definitely going to be sufficient for last turn. Yeah, I think that we got owned because I was too hasty. Are you going to creature swap? That's a little silly, to be honest. That's a little bit silly. Unless he can kill me, then it's not silly at all. BLS. Yeah, Heavy Storm kind of owned us. That was kind of the thing. Alter? This is a little bit odd. Okay. Oh. Huh. Unfortunately, we're still not under... Unfortunately, we 50 life points would have been nice. Cybersteintha. That is not sufficient. Alright, so Bolter is unfortunate for us. Because we can neither Soul Exchange nor Brain Control. Otherwise, we would basically win. Is there anything I can do? Normal spell card is activated. Yeah, we sure do play a lot of those. Big think. Yeah, Balter's pretty good. Like, he has. This is why he's a high ranked duelist. He had pretty good foresight. He saw. I guess he saw creature swap, and he's like, I'm never letting that happen to me ever again. Because there's. Oh no, he knows. He knows about my brain. He knows about my brain. That's why. I think we just lose. I think I'm just gonna mid defeat. Okay, so he has stuff like creature swap. He also has like a main deck Ashura Priest. And so Scapegoats I don't think is really the answer. I think I do like the Solemns. I think we're gonna bring in some Solemns. I think our own creature swaps are gonna be poor. So we'll take those out. I think Soul Exchange is gonna be perfectly fine. Brain Control I think is also fine. Maybe Trunade isn't necessary in a place for Solemn. I do think that TT is something that we can bring in. He was playing Decree though. He was playing Decree. So I guess we want the MST. We might even want Mobular. Both those things probably. Maybe take out one wall. And we bring in a Mobular. I like Hades. So we're gonna keep him in. Maybe no Mobular, maybe just MST. Alright. No, we won't bring in TT because of the decree. Alright. Let's try to big brain this. We're playing control, and so we gotta use our brain a little bit. Okay. A lot of greed time. Cyberjar could be good. I could just set that. I could just set Gillosaurus to see if I can bait like a knock or something. But I kind of like keeping Gillosaurus. I'm gonna set Cyberjar. If he knocks it, I don't think I care. I think it's a good card to go off, but it's not strictly necessary. Interesting. It's not bad. Okay. So I probably just flip Jar. I could like be cheeky and go for Hades. but I think we're just gonna flip jar. What do we get? What are we popping? Or is this a solemn? Whatever it is, he'll be able to get back if I summon Gillosaurus, which is something to think about. But then we cancel exchange for Hades, whatever that is. Can't tell if he's thinking or if he just doesn't know. He doesn't remember. Or maybe he's lagging. It's his own Cyberjar! Wins. That's very funny. Oh, baby. We got Wall Revealing Light. Okay. And Solemn Judgment and Heavy Storm. I think you're basically cooked. Serp, TD, Dust Shoot, Brain Con. Wow, his were awful. His were just awful. We have like ton of like we are gonna heavy storm this for sure. I think he's like absolutely just cooked. Because this is gonna be a solemn, and so we have to get rid of it. It's a pro set meta. Okay. Okay, so he has this Cyberjar, but we don't care, and so we're going to special summon Gillosaurus. And then I think we're gonna Monster Gate Gillosaurus. We're searching for Jaugen. Cyberstein is okay. Cyberstein's okay. There's definitely a world in which we I'm gonna send the Gillosaurus with a world that we could kill him just through battle damage, but I think that we are just gonna go for the last turn. Shining Angel's not really what we want. Put it in defense mode. Okay, we are going to activate Cyberstein for sure. And we're gonna get, I think, probably Balter the Terrible. And then we could have gotten Last Warrior, but I don't think we need to do that. I think we just get Hades. And then we attack. This should negate Serpent even in the graveyard, and so he can't get that back. We'll activate you, we'll set you, we'll set wall. If we get owned because I didn't go for Last Warrior, I'm gonna be kind of sad. But he can't get Serpent. Gonna give it a try, eh? What did he have? TD Dust Shoot Braincon? Like, Braincon's kind of an issue. We don't like that so much, but I think that we could just solemn it. Thinking. I don't think we care about this. You're fine. This. You hit the solemn. You can try to brain con. We can then chain alter. Okay, it's time. It's time. Can you get over Dark Bolt? Can you get over Dark Ruler Hades? Can you? I don't think you can. There's no way. No problem. I'm pretty sure what Pestilence told me is that the target of my monster and sending all other cards happens at the same time. And so he can't ask me which mon, which means I can keep either Balter or Dark Ruler Hades, and both of them have the negate effects. And so I think that we're going to be fine either way. He could have like Jinzo, and so we definitely would prefer Dark Ruler Hades. We definitely would prefer that. This is the power of the jar, though. This jar kind of won us the game. All right. A lot of times the opponent will see me discard and then they will concede before they discard, which is kind of like, I don't know. I don't know about that. Viewing deck. Does he have something that can beat me? If he does, then we're upset. He could have like Facilier, I guess. Technically. Well, that's not going to be enough. Yep, Hades is sufficient. I'm glad. I'm glad because we didn't summon Last Warrior, which I think was a it was a risk. But then if we had summoned it, we couldn't have waited for BrainCon. We would have had to have blasted it in the standby phase, and then it still would have been fine because we would have had Hades to attack over Serp, and so he couldn't have gotten that back. And so I don't know. Oh man, I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. Okay, so we got bailed out. He should not have told me that because I did not realize that that was likely, which totally was likely. But I mean, I guess he had it in hand since the start. He didn't get it off of Jar, so we have to be thinking about that. So maybe Hades is not good. Maybe Hades is bad, though I think Demok's kind of bad, to be honest. Maybe we want to bring in the Scapegoat meta package. Or maybe Solemn Judgment is just efficient on its own. Maybe Hades isn't what we want, because he does have this Demok. No, I think we're going to run with it. It's just now we know we have to do either Jauken or Cyberstein. I think our deck is looking good. Oh my god. This hand's crazy. This hand's nutty. This hand is full combo, even though we sided one out of wall, and so we shouldn't have this. Hopefully we draw a A Solemn Judgment is what we want to draw. Look at Cleffa, man. Look at her little feet. Do you think she, like, waddles? I think she waddles. Breaker. Pro Summon Breaker. That's crazy. Another wall. Oh my god. Okay, well. I'm an MST. Please no Trapjaw shoot. Scapegoat. That's fine. Okay, we summon. We just go for it. In no world do we not go for it. We just go for it. I'm not going to pop the goaters. Do I blast this in draw phase? I don't think so. I don't think we do. That is fine. Got something? You got something? You might. You might. You haven't summoned this turn. He hasn't summoned this turn, and so he probably wins. Now that I think about it, he probably wins. No, he doesn't win, because he has to discard everything. No, he doesn't win. We win. Unless... And no, Serp is even dead. We win. There's nothing he can do. You'd have to chain something to kill Jowgen. There's nothing he can do, right? Because he's already in main phase? I think it's just GG, right? Is there anything he can do at this point? Oh, no way! He wrote something. He was writing something mean. He was writing something mean to us, but then he thought about it, and he's like, you know what? You know what? Not today. I'm not going to say something mean. I'm just going to leave. If I don't have anything nice to say, I won't say anything at all. And so I got out of here. We drew the nuts. He's back. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. He seemed nice though, so maybe I'm being mean. Maybe I'm the one being mean. Yeah, he did get sacked. I mean, we did draw 6 cards and we drew 3 combo pieces. So I wonder if there's anything he can do. So everything goes to grave, and so it could be like double Night Assailant would save him. It would actually win him the game, right? No. Not double Night Assailant. Like Night Assailant plus a flip would be enough. Because then he could just summon like Deco and win. But it would have to be something special. I don't know how long I'm willing to let him think, though. He's now writing. Lucky. You're right. He's right. There was not skill involved. But, you know, we're playing the deck that produces these hands. The reason why we're playing this instead of just a normal Monarch deck is that it can do this. This is part of the plan. So his deck is interesting though. It was... Oh, he's going to give us some advice. I actually would not mind advice from him. I would not mind advice. But for next time. Look how cute the Cleffa. Sorry, I can't stop talking about Cleffa. It's just their little ears and the swirl. Like some of the baby Pokemon are kind of cringe. Like, I don't like Magby. I think Magby's bad. Elekid is goated, but Magby's bad. But this baby's cute. Igglybuff is cursed, but in a good way. Cursed in a good way. Yes. But you pay LP for cost for a wall. That is correct. You do chain. Which is why, if this were ultimate offering, we would have lost. And so you can. Why? Why not? Why not? Chainlink 2 wall to pay cost. Chainlink 3 last turn. He's looking for a technicality, but he's not going to find one. Yellow Link is watching. You guys can't see because I covered that part. I've been thinking about because we get watchers pretty frequently of having like a cool little bench on the screen where the watchers can live. I've been thinking about that. I can see is there is a judge online, and so we can just grab a judge. I think. Let's grab a judge real quick. There is one online, and they've been coming really fast recently, and so. And you know, it's also funny. So you can pick. You can like sort through which games you want to watch based on like who is in the game. I think, including watchers. And so there is like a cohort of people who like look at the current online judge, and they watch every game that judge enters because they want the drama. It's like a judge will enter, and you'll suddenly see like 3 people will like enter like right after, like immediately right after, and they're all just like looking for the drama. And honestly, frankly, that's something I can get behind because, you know, every once in a while, you like if you're not involved in the judge call, it's pretty funny. But I'm gonna pause the video here. I will unpause it once the judge comes back, so you guys can get the drama like those other people. So see you. All right, guys, we're back. I found the ruling on goatformat.com. He said read 1 sec, and then 10 minutes went by without any communication. And then we finally got our friend the judge. Do you guys remember? Am I having like a Mandela effect where like didn't they used to not tell you the username of the judge? It was just like dual resource 1973, something like that. And you guys can't. All right, maybe I can do this really fast. I can do this so fast. All right, ready? Window capture, display capture. We'll do window capture. All right, there it is. There it is. Look at all the people. They're all they're skulking around the judge. Thank you. All right, we defeated the high rank duelist. We got lucky. Let's be honest. It wasn't that the deck was good. It wasn't that I was good. We just got a little bit lucky. So. 379 yellow. 379 yellow. 131. Crazy good. All right. That was a really long one. However, we are gonna get another. I want to show off the deck a little bit more. I feel like I didn't do a good job. So we're gonna join the pool. Somebody private messaged me. I'm afraid to open it. I don't want to open it right now. Samuele. LKS. Look at fun. Do you have a public extra deck or no? 498 ELO is pretty high. You do have like a 41 card main deck. Okay. Okay. This hand's cracked. This hand's cracked because with Sangan we can just get Jowgen. Swords of Revealing Light. Okay. Okay. I could swords. Flip this. Or I could just soul exchange Dark Ruler. I could swords flip this. Or I could just soul exchange Dark Ruler. I don't know what to do. Soul exchange Dark Ruler here kind of stinks, and so I could just swords flip this. Let's swords flip this. See what you got. Bye. Oh, wow, I went to the life point thing to immediately take life points because I'm so used to doing that. I'm like, that's very funny that I did that. I'm so used to it. I'm kind of afraid of like duo. But we're just gonna end the turn. Duo's not a real card. Duo's not a real card. Hopefully we draw into like Heavy Storm would be pretty nice. That's not bad. Okay. I could sack Sangan, go for Dark Ruler and attack this, and then try to pop this, but I think that we're just gonna go for it. I think we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna set everything. Please no Royal Decree. Alright, this is gonna be very tough for them to out. We probably have it in the bag, to be honest. Alright, we're just gonna go for it. Any responders? If this card can out Jowgen, that would be kind of poopy. I don't know. We're playing season. We're playing season 3, guys, and people are quitting. People are seeing last turn and they're quitting. 395 low. Yeah, I don't know. Would you guys quit if you were playing last turn? I feel like I mean it's a combo deck and people don't like combo decks, but it's fast. Like it's not like this takes like forever like library. And there's like easy counterplay. Like easy counterplay. It's pretty fragile. And so like I don't know. I feel like you don't quit. I would not quit. I would not quit. But yeah, sometimes you get some easy wins. Sometimes you assemble all the pieces of Exodia on turn like 2. Yeah, that's the sort of game that we're looking for, and I think that what we have helps power through. I'm trying to think. It's really like Jowgen's really easy to get to. We're playing 3 walls for Vitrina. Good luck, have fun. Wall's really easy to get to. Jowgen's really easy to get to. It's really just last turn. No public extra deck, by the way. It's see, it's really just last turn. That is not easy to get to. But yeah, once we draw last turn, we basically win because we also have Trunade, and so we want to play with the goal in mind to delay the opponent as long as possible. We just need to draw. I should really code in something that like appears right here that tells us the chance to draw last turn. That would be pretty fun. Maybe I'll do that today. Gillosaurus. I don't think we special summon it. I think we just normal. Are you guys happy to see Gillosaurus back? I'm happy. Enemy. Yep, that's fine. He went 1 for 1. Like, if you attack over Gillosaurus, I don't think we care about that. Mystic Swordsman level 2. Oh, that's pretty funny. Motto is pretty good. I'm tempted to Trunade, but we really kind of want to save it for last turn. So let's not. This level 2 is not really a threat. The only thing that's really a threat is Don's Luke. Don's Luke would be quite bad. That's fine. Another set, a last turn. That's not bad. I think it's Trunade time. Okay, I don't think there's a reason to not brain control here. I guess we don't. I guess there's no reason to brain control either. So we will normal summon the boy, and we'll set everything. Yep. One, two, three. Set all 3 cards. Do it now. Get last turn done. Please don't quit, though. We want a full match. Please do not quit. And it's great because like this like strategy is basically breaker proof. Because like let's say he hits last turn instead of brain control, you just chain wall, chain last turn. It's easy, breaker proof. Resolves. All cards in our hands and field go to GY except Jaugen. Then normally you'd get a chance to summon a mon from deck, but Jaugen effect stops you from doing that. So effectively, it resolves. I'll win. Solemn. We really needed to hold on to that Trunade. Card in hand also goes, but card in hand also goes. Then we do the victory check. Okay. This is Warrior, and so we're gonna bring in these boys. I could bring in Solemns as well. We'll see what cards we have to take out. Alright, so what's bad against Warriors? Kilisori don't feel great. Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the advantages of the last turn is that like nobody's played against it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What a nice guy. See, this is the like when you encounter something you've never encountered before. This is the sort of attitude I think people should take. Do I want the Solemns? I probably do. All right. Maybe I don't need the walls though. Swords, Trunade, Heavy Storm's good. Oh man. Maybe I don't side. I don't know. Maybe I just side these. Creature swap's gonna be good. I think soul exchange is maybe a little bit too slow, so we'll take out. Maybe we take out all the soul exchanges. Brain control is just gonna be fine because they're not ever gonna set anything, and so we don't have to really worry about sets. And I feel like soul exchange is mostly in the case that they set mons. Some people run it, but it hasn't topped the tournament. Lavina recently almost made top 8 in the people UCQ. So I think Lavina, I think you're a woman. I've never spoken with you before, and so if you're not, I'm sorry. All right, so Shining Angle. This Kaiku's kind of a butt, to be honest. Kaiku's kind of a butt. Set Sangan? I'm gonna set Sangan. Set Angle Seiko. Because he could summon level 2. Could summon level 2. Well, we need to get our own goat tokens for this season. Like, that's not the generic one. Alright, what do we want off of Sangan? Could get Cyber Jar is kind of interesting. Could get Morphing Jar, but I don't know. I feel like if he had either Knock or level 2, he would have used it. I could just get Jaugen, but I have Shining Angel for that, so I think we're gonna get Cyber Jar. Another Monster Gate. Alright, so the problem is that we're facing down like a ton of back row. I'm tempted to set Shining Angel. I'm gonna do that. Because they're gonna assume it's Cyber Jar, and they're gonna out it with like a Rhoda into Exile Force or Rhoda into level 2. They summoned another Mon into Cyber Jar? What? That's cuckoo crazy. I think that we do summon a card. I think we summon another Angle. What? I am so confused. Creature swap's not bad. Creature swap over the Cyber Jar. I don't hate that. Or I could just set Cyber Jar. I think I'm just going to set Cyber Jar, right? Because they're not playing around it. That being said, if this doesn't work out, I'm owned because all these cards are kind of just like dead. And so, here's to hoping. It's crazy. They just like not have Rhoda. Also, the two Kaikus were interesting. There's pretty much nothing you can do at this point unless you have like Divine Wrath. Basically nothing you can do at this point. Because we are in the damage step. Yeah, I don't even really know what the play there could be. got Blade Knight, Rhoda, Snatch, Solemn, Lady Warrior Lady. Okay, Tomat is gonna go in face down defense mode. Heavy Storm's not bad. Alright, so he can attack with DD Warrior Lady to banish this. If he doesn't, it's kind of unfortunate that we don't have 2 tomatoes, because ending on Cyberstein would be pretty nice. We still don't have the pieces for last turn, but I'm looking pretty good. Banish. Okay. Thinking whether I want to summon Amon. It would have to be Cyberstein. I'm thinking no. No summon. So attack with Blade Knight. He did not attack with Blade Knight. I'm not gonna remind him. we're gonna roll with that. I'm thinking I might need these life points. If he asks later, to, like, I want to be able to attack with Blade Knight, I'll let him do that for sure. But I'm not gonna, unless he asks me. I kind of need a Mon. We've already lost a lot of our Mons. That's probably Solemn. But I'm not gonna, like, Goaders. No summon, no. Okay, I think I want to heavy before Graceful Charity, so we can reduce their life points. Maybe I should have Graceful first. We have this Scapegoat meta. We have last turn. We have Cyberstein. Interesting. We have a live BLS, which is what I think that we probably lead on. Dark Ruler Hadaz is probably sufficient for last turn. I could Cyberstein into Ryu Senshi. Alright, so we don't need 2. For sure. What else do they have? Blade Knight, Rhoda, Snatch. They have Snatch. We have swords. They have Snatch, so we have to be careful about that. Sorry, big thing. Am I gonna Cyberstein? I could probably win, right? If I do? I can probably win this turn. Maybe I just don't want the other Dark Ruler Hadaz. Okay. Now. I think we summon Cyberstein first. Prior to use effect. To look. Okay. Alright, so now that we know they have book, which is rather unfortunate. Now we know they have book. Which is rather unfortunate. I guess it's going to be King Dragoon. King Dragoon. Dragoon's an interesting one. Okay. Now I think we probably creature swamp. And they'll probably give me Blade Knight. That's on for it. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But will give me Blade Knight still. I think that we can still really... We can still do this. With BLS. This is book, and so we have to think about that. What are the possibilities? We have 2 Gilosauruses that we don't want to hit. Because that would ruin it. That's kind of really unfortunate. $100, then 6. Can I get down to 1 card in hand? Summon BLS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. We kind of want to proc the book. We already normaled, and so I can monster gate, but I like this scapegoat honestly a lot, and so we're gonna summon BLS. I think I could BLS banish something. I can't target this. I could banish that, and then I could meta, but then I don't know. I think we're just gonna BLS. So let's banish. Summon. Thinking on Prio. Oh no, you. He's gotta let me think. He's gonna book it, so I guess I automatically kind of just. Maybe I let it go. I will let it go. That's fine. Well, I'll use Prio to banish DD Warrior Lady. Do you still want to book? Okay. All right. Now I can use meta for level. That's level 8, right? That being said, I kind of want to save the meta. Can I kill him though if I do? No, I don't think so. I think we just kind of like pass on this board. They reset scapegoat, activate swords, pass. I don't think that he kills me this turn. I'd be very surprised. That was a pretty good play. I did not expect Compulse in the deck. He has Light Dark. That's awful. That's awful. That's so bad. Our hand's reduced to like the worst. I should have held Scapegoat, I guess. There's no reason to set it. Yeah, we might lose. Did I? Man, the line was just too hard for me, I guess. We might lose. We lost! Oh my gosh! Oh, he had everything! That's crazy! Okay. I don't know. I mean, it didn't matter that we set Scapegoat there. I guess we needed to find a way to go for game. That's crazy. I guess that maybe I got greedy with the swap. I got greedy with the creature swap. Maybe that was where I went wrong. Yeah. Ooh, yikes. Okay. I like these Solemns because we're going first. Maybe I shave one. Scapegoat's pretty good though, right? I can't believe we lost. That's crazy. We took out our Gillisauruses. I forgot about that. He is playing into TT, and so we're gonna bring in TT over Scapegoat, and we're gonna say go. That was crazy. Last turn wall. So now we just need one of our enablers. So let's go ahead and set ring. Say go. Yep, close. That was a really good duel, though. That felt really good. I know I kind of got owned, and you guys can, if you're reviewing Pleasure at home, you can think about what line you would have liked. We had so many tools, and you can even think about what was in deck with Monster. Breaker's not a warrior. Breaker is a spellcaster, even though he has warrior in the name. I'm surprised there's just no like just Dawn Zalug. Like where's the boy Dawn? I don't know what that word is. Is that a mean word? It feels. Oh, it's probably joke, right? It's probably joke, right? That looks like it could be like a slur. Looks like it could be a slur. But no, it's a joke, right? J and Kate. There we go. DD Warrior Ladies. She is a warrior. Yeah. Do I ring her? I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I might just let it go. I might even just let it go. I don't think we mind taking the damage. Oh. Okay, so we're setting up like some solemn backup vibes. Their Hades is not really what we want. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Take one of my Hadeses away. They'll be able to see that we have the last turn. I'm gonna hit him with the eye emoji. I think we probably don't set Torrential. Or do we? I'll set it. Why not? Heavy Storm cooks us. We get cooked by Heavy Storm. We probably just lose if it's Heavy Storm. And so I didn't need to do this. I should not have done it. Well, TT. You knew this TT was here. Are you going to solve him? You do not. Didymus. Mirror Force. Damn. Alright, they don't know about that. So I don't think it's necessary to set, though. Looks like they're having a trouble getting a monster. Oh, maybe not. What are they setting? Monster Gate. That's not bad. We can brain control into Monster Gate if we want. What is this? Imagine if it was like Jar. What their brain con. Since they're setting so many cards, I feel fair enough to set Mirror Force. Sorry also if I just yelled into the mic. Zing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good anti-last turn tech. 2 best traps. Locked. Dang. Guess we set a brain con. It's fine. That's why we don't set these until we're ready to use them. Oh! They did the thing! We're still up a card, but technically not really. Another wall? Jeez. I guess I set this to bait out the removal. No mons. What is this? the moment they summon him on, we got some juice. And if they like Solemn Snatch Steal, we can just brain, which is pretty nice. I have no idea what this could be though. I feel like it's just gonna be like a level 2. It's an XL. Oh, that makes... That's pretty funny. Goaters isn't bad. I'm gonna set it. I don't think there's any reason to activate it. I wonder what... I guess this is probably Solemn. Which tells me this is probably their only Solemn. This is a pretty weird duel. this is working out pretty strangely. I'm glad that the ones they locked down were only our very best traps in the game and not something better. Do I want to... It's not bad. I think I just pass. I don't want to lose any of these cards, though. Could just hard activate Scapegoat here. We have to wait for some sort of back row removal before we can summon Jalkin and do the thing. Alright, we're just gonna pass, I think. Maybe not. I don't want to lose these cards, is the thing. I don't need 2 walls, I guess. I don't need 2 walls, I guess. I should tell them, though, that I have a wall down. I could have put a Dark Ruler Hadez in the grave to have a Dark. So BLS is coming down. That's fine. We're gonna Goaters. We can kill 2 of them, but we don't mind that. I could have used wall to protect them, but I think that we don't care about that either. Swords is not bad. It's gonna clog up our back row though, so like we don't really want that. Alright, we're gonna try to Snatch Steal BLS. They're probably gonna Solemn or Dust Tornado this. Book of Moon. No, that's kind of a problem. I don't really like that. BLS can defend over Dark Ruler, which is unfortunate. Jalkin destroys BLS. I think I probably just activate Swords, but we probably lose if... I could Monster Gate and try to get into Stein. Could be pretty good. Do I lose if he... I don't think I lose if he heavies. So I think we're just gonna activate Swords and end the turn. I don't think we lose. Okay, alright. Alright, please don't hit combo. Okay. That's on Fort, but it's okay. Oh man, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm like super nervous. Is he gonna flip BLS or no? Okay, it's fine. Alright, we're gonna try to... We lost our brain control, unfortunately. We can Jalkin, priority effect to kill. We can't let him go into main phase if I summon Jalkin. Oh, he's gonna pop this as well. That's pretty smart. Pretty smart. He has to have a solemn. It's probably this. My own BLS. I don't have a light engrave. Never have I been so stressed to have just like full combo. I still don't think I'm dead though if he attacks me. So I think I'm just gonna pass. Doesn't have dust shoot because if he did, he would have already used it for sure. Okay, draw. Oh, this is not really what I want. I can't go for it though. This tells me that he probably doesn't have spell trap removal though. So Wall of Revealing Light for 3,000 might be sufficient to save me if I need to. I think I'm just gonna end the turn. I don't even know what I'm trying to draw. A ring in Mirror Force getting zinged was pretty rough. I didn't see that coming. We will get a new spell trap slot. Heavy Storm. That's not bad. That's not bad. I can heavy, and then if he lets it go, I'll chain wall. I think that's the plan. He probably won't let it go though. Ooh. I knew it was the solemn. Okay. So I could Jowgen, Monster Gate, BLS, pop this BLS. What are the chances he has 2 solemns? I think pretty low. I think pretty low. And the reason I think that is that he used his Book of Moon to free up the slot. I feel like he wouldn't do that if he already had 1 solemn. Massive think. I could just let it go for 1 more turn, but I just don't. I feel like I won't want him to be able to set another card. I just, with the cards in hand, I just don't think it makes sense to go for Monster Gate. So I think that we're gonna set. I think I'm gonna also set Monster Gate, and then I'm gonna use Jowgen to pop you. This will destroy BLS, which is the big threat currently on the board. You can choose one of my cards to discard. I don't attack. I don't attack for sure. All right. Good luck. Good luck to my opponent. I'm thinking. Yep. I'm gonna ask him anything on resolution. Anything on resolution to charity. Oh, okay. That's fine. I cannot let that happen. They can solemn it. Can't solemn it with this card. Oh, this is so tense. Okay, that's it. Wow. Wow. This was so close. I'm just sitting with it a little bit. This one was crazy. We took like a pretty calculated risk. I wonder what the other two face downs are. Probably battle traps, I guess. Yeah, we can send them. Mirror Force. Battle traps, yeah. They got clogged. Blade Knight. Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke. What you got? Dust Tornado. Oh. Wow. I don't know. Maybe you guys weren't as stressed as I was. Maybe this felt like a kind of like a normal match to you, but I had a really great time. I had a really great time. All right, we're at 408. 408 hello. We're up 100. We're up 145 ELO over season 2. That's crazy. I know. Like once again, that some of them are just from people quitting because they see last turn and they're just like, I'm out of here. And so it's not like a perfect representation of like this deck's power, I would say. But then again, this series isn't really meant to show a perfect representation of a deck's power. It's a ladder series. Like we have a goal on ladder specifically. This is the format that we're playing, which is ladder. And so like a lot of the deck building decisions we're making, a lot of the problems that we face are going to be specific to ladder. Like you would definitely deck build differently if you were going directly to like a tournament, because you can guess what the field of the tournament's going to be and you can make strategic decisions on your list based on stuff that you expect to see. And so I feel like the original thesis of the deck where like Jirai Gumo is going to be like enough is maybe true depending on the matchup. I think we have discovered that the cheesers like DD Warrior, Lady Sangan are more of a threat than we originally thought, but I don't know. I think that we're definitely onto something here. Let's go back to the deck. I think it's really great. At the same time that we're getting more like Jousting kills, like we're leaning into that aspect of the deck, I do really think that this is enabling stuff like Hades. In this episode we haven't really gotten an opportunity to go like really aggro with the deck, but I have had matches in practice before where you really can just control the like course of the field by all these like brain controls summon Honda's attack, or brain control already have big mon on field attack and you can just win through battle, which I think is which is really cool. I think that what one avenue to make a combo deck really powerful is that instead of like stalling or specifically taking the like control like role in the deck, like in the match, you can take the aggro role, or at least you can play a little bit more proactively. You can try to like put pressure on the opponent's board so that they can't overwhelm you with resources. And so I really like it. I really like it in that way. Yeah, so guys, let me know what you think of the new deck. If you have any suggestions on how to make it better. This is still definitely like an alpha version of what I'm envisioning. There might be ways to make better use of stuff like Monster Gate. I'm really interested in the Gillosauruses. I think that there is a lot of potential to trick the opponent into special summoning, and so that we can take it and then kill them with it, whatever mon that they come up with. I think there's a lot of potential there. But I'm interested to hear what you guys have to think, especially in reference to the meta scapegoat solemn judgment package, whether they should stay in the side or come in. I was thinking also about Last Will, but I think that this deck already does a pretty good job at turboing out the monsters. It's really last turn itself that's a little bit harder to get to. But yeah, we'll see. So
Goodbye.